We're joined by chef and cookbook author Makoti. Now, she's well known as the Lazy Makoti. Her first cookbook, The Lazy Makoti's Guide to the Kitchen, is a local bestseller and went on to win numerous awards, including the prestigious Gourmand World Cookbook Award. Now, she's back 3 years later to extend her winning formula with her brand new cookbook, Hosting with the Lazy Makoti, a celebration of food. Makoti, welcome back to the loft.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
I mean, first and foremost, I feel like watching your journey and having it almost feels like a front row seat when I'm on your Instagram. It seems as if, girlfriend, you have not stopped. From your very first cookbook now to your second cookbook, it almost seems like time has truly flown. Whenever I go to the airport, I still see your book there on the shelf. Bestseller. Whenever I go on social media, people seem to still be loving that old cookbook. Now, as I usher in this new cookbook, how is this different? And what's the story behind Hosting with the Lazy Makoti?
Oh, Balesa, I think from the success of the first book, I've always known that I will definitely keep making cookbooks. It's something that I absolutely love, that I'm passionate about just sharing how to make delicious meals for your family. And that's exactly what's in this cookbook. I mean, the inspiration from this cookbook is actually everyone that follows me on social media, all the recipes that everyone's been requesting, be it in lockdown and even before that. And I think this is a really great time. It's summer, everybody's, the world is like opening up.
Yeah.
So what better thing to do than to host?
And celebrate. You know, food really is all about celebration. And here on Afternoon Express, we believe in celebrating every single occasion. And that is also mirrored within your cookbook. I mean, from breakfast with Bay to, you know, those weekly family dinners and meals to major, big, large celebrations. It seems as if you've kind of ticked off every box. Why is this the main focus of your personal brand and then extended to the second cookbook?
Like you're saying, I think every moment is worth celebrating, and we've actually kind of really learned that in the past 2 years, that every moment is special and that we should make it special. And that's why in this book I include all those different moments, whether it's breakfast with your family, like you said, a lunch, a dinner, and then those really big celebrations like Valentine's Day and Christmases and Easter. So I wanted you to have a recipe for each occasion that's going to happen in your life.
Okay, I love that. And I'm so about it because essentially in my house, I've got a library of cookbooks. So it's exciting to know that I've just got a one-stop shop here with the Hosting book. Secondly, you are just so vocal about being inspired by the women in your life. From umama to ukoko, you've got such fond memories growing up in that kitchen. Mind sharing some with us?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the inspiration for most of us that cook. You know, if you think about your first delicious meal or memories that are really fond, that make you happy, they all sort of involve food, they involve time in the kitchen. Yeah, so for me, it's no different. My mother and my grandma, who I used to cook with a lot, are really the inspiration behind what I do and how I do it. I do recipes that are easy, that are accessible, that invite everyone back into the kitchen.
Speaking about being easy and accessible, now this is something that kind of went over my head, but being able to learn more about cooking, I realized that this is pivotal. You focused on using milliliters and not grams. A lot of cookbooks and a lot of cookbook authors, they always put everything in grams. Why did you decide it's so important to focus on the milliliters instead?
So another great passion of mine is actually being accessible, having all South Africans be able to share, you know, in the delight of cookbooks. And another barrier can be, you know, recipes that are in grams. That requires, you know, a kitchen scale. Not everybody has it. Not everybody has the money to invest in a kitchen scale, but they will have money to buy measuring cups.
Yeah.
So why not make these recipes truly accessible to everyone? I want everyone to be able to enjoy it and cook everything and love it.
Something else that's been very prominent over the past 2 years is the culinary industry definitely took a knock with COVID-19, people not being able to entertain. However, you seem to be thriving. You really do seem to be thriving. It seems as if you're always busy, you always have your head up high, and you're always delivering. How have you been able to remain so persistent and just that strength? Where does it come from?
I think the one gift of, you know, lockdown and everything that's happened is I actually got time to work on the cookbook. That's when I did the majority of the testing of the recipes, the majority of writing and actually putting it together. And so, you know, you'll remember that when it all started, it was supposed to just be 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, and then it just extended.
Hey, those 14 days ended up feeling like 14 years.
Right? And in those 2 weeks, the plan was to just keep everyone, you know, motivated, get online and cook with everyone while they're at home. And then it became 2 other weeks. And then I saw, you know, the great response that people really needed this. So when all our vices were taken away, be it the booze, the cigarettes, the partying, like outside was really taken away from us.
Yeah.
This was the one thing that people had, you know, food and being together and sharing together online. So I guess in as much as I was helping them, they were helping me, and now we have this cookbook.
I love it. It kind of definitely seems like that collaborative thing that you've got with your followers. Yes. Do you still see yourself as this celebrity chef? Because every single time I sit down with you, you're just so real, down to earth, grounded. It's as if you're just here for the food, honey, and the celebrity stuff can go away. How have now you been able to shift your relationship with your followers, being in the media, being in the forefront, being the star of your own show, honey, and still being able to stay true to the food?
I think I'll always just be me, whether it's yesterday, today, and even years to come. I'll always be me. I'm just like my food. It's not bougie, it's unpretentious, it's simple, it's delicious, which is what I love. I mean, the whole reason I do what I do is because I want everyone to be able to enjoy these delicious foods.
Yeah, and we are giving South Africa an opportunity to walk away with this cookbook that's going to bring in those delicious foods into your very own household. So for that lucky viewer and other viewers who possibly want to purchase your book, what can they expect? What can they look forward to? And girl, I know I always say this to my chefs. You know how you ask a parent, who's your favorite child? This is kind of the same thing, but I'm going to challenge you. What's your favorite recipe in this cookbook?
That is the worst question to ever get. Because, which parent has a favorite child? I don't think any parent has a favorite child. They shouldn't. At least they shouldn't. But yeah, I really try to include, like I said, all those occasions where you would want to make delicious food, which is all occasions, from like a breakfast to a lunch to a dinner, to weekends when you're hosting, to proudly South African meals, which will always be in all the cookbooks I do, to a chapter dedicated to African food from around the continent, to those big, big celebrations. So I just tried to have everything in there. I love for a cookbook to be useful more than anything. So I don't want you to just look at the pretty pictures. I want you to also know that you actually can make it every day.
I love that about you. You're also an award-winning cookbook author, honey. Your accolades speak for themselves. In fact, you know, in high school when we had those blazers and the prefix would have almost like a Christmas tree on your blazer. Those are the same accolades I can ask for, or rather see in your own life. Are you hoping that this cookbook will take it all the way to the top? What's your wildest dream and exploration of this cookbook? I can see people whipping this up in the middle of Europe.
I actually hope so. I hope so. I really, the goal will always be for everyone to find it accessible, to know that they too can make delicious meals. You don't have to be a chef, but if you're willing and you want to, you can have beautiful Instagrammable food every day.
From an award-winning chef, you heard it here first. Now hosting with the Lazy Makoti, a celebration of food is a must-have. And you could win yourself a copy of the Lazy Makoti's book. If you've been inspired, all you have to do is answer this question. What homemade recipe reminds you of a loved one? Super simple. Share your answers onto Afternoon Express's Facebook page. T's and C's do apply and can be found on our website. This competition closes at 12 p.m. Monday, the 22nd of November, 2021.